everybody, it's Cassie Oelberg from Salins Grove, Pennsylvania. I am back from a fabulous entire week of square dancing, and I have to say it was wonderful. So anyway, we are going to do sketch 3 from the June virtual crop, and this one was super fun. It had a lot of little things on it that I wouldn't have thought to do myself. So that's what I love about the virtual crops, is that they're sketches that I wouldn't necessarily think to do, and then I'm like, I love how this came together. So let's go ahead and jump right on over and hop on in. Okay, so the last 2 sketches for June, I felt like they were super busy, and so I did a little bit of toning down, but still kept a lot of the elements. So as you can see, on this one, I took the border off at the top over here, but kept it on these 2. I used one of them as a journaling box. I didn't have quite enough pictures that fit the scheme, so I went ahead and did some decorative things. And then my photos at the bottom, I just went ahead and I made those full, and then I took off the cute little pieces in between, since there was just one on either side. But the one that we're going to do, I added those back in, so you can see how different things will work when you have different pictures. Different things will work. I also, what's the other thing I was going to tell you? Oh, I also used the pages where I could just cover the bottom, because there was just a border that went across here. So I just covered the bottom and then used the Fast Fab at the top. So that worked out really super well. And then I just loved that I could use flowers there, because there were flowers on all the graves, and so that worked out really well. So let's go ahead and pull over what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to use these 2 pages. And the one downside to using these pages is that I don't have a color that goes all the way across, right? Because it has the corners on this one. So it's a little bit different. Not a big deal. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to see how much I need. I'm going to make the top part brown. I'm going to see how much I need to cut a strip to cover that up. So if I do 4.5 inches, then I'm going to be able to cover that up, and I'm still saving money because I only have to use a little bit of paper instead of 2 more full sheets, right? Okay, so let's just cover this up here. And so that gives us that top part of the sketch. Okay, now we just need the bottom. And so I'm going to go ahead and use this blue on the bottom. We'll cut that at 6 inches. There we go. And this is going to go along the bottom. Okay, so there we go. And that pulls in the top and bottom different color aspect. So now I went ahead, and this one was heavily on having the right photos. So I just want to show you, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this one photo on the bottom here. And then across the top, I have my little photos of the cathedral that we were at. So I wanted that there, and that there, and that there. And then this way, I have pulled in the small photos that go across the top. And I love that I found the pictures that would work for this. And then down here, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 photos in here. This is one of my favorite photos. This is my husband and his buddy Miguel, who's the head of the Belgian Vet Corps, and they are hanging out together. So I just love that picture of them walking into the old city together. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add in our mats. So I'm going to mat the top in baby blue because it's brown across the top, so I'm going to mat it in the blue. I'm going to move these out of my way for a second. And I went ahead and I punched my border across first. So if you haven't used a border punch, remember it punches right in this black spot right here. And you line it up. And then you just punch down. And then this is just going to move across and it's just going to keep lining up. Now this one does have the silver line down it, which means that I could use it as a frame punch if I so desired. And I think we're going to go over that on next week's YouTube. I'm going to double check that. Almost there. Okay. So now these pictures are going to go right on here. And we need 3.5 by 5.5. So the 5.5 is vertical. These photos are 3 by 4, and that's why this is working. So there we go. Good. Now, you know, sometimes I like to change things up partway through. I'm just going to see what it would look like if I made this to be exactly two. Would this be too wide? Let's check that out. Yeah, I don't like that. I think it's too wide. We're just going to stick with it being a partial one. It might help if I put that right side up. So it's going to go down. That one's going to go up. And the last one. Okay, and then we're just going to do that exact same thing again. Punch. I'm just lining it up on the blue to the right and sliding. Of course, you could go the other direction if you're left-handed or if that direction is just more comfortable for you. I just felt this damask border punch really added the right tone to the top of these pictures. Okay. Cut it over to 5.5. And do our 3.5s. Okay. There we go. I was like, where'd my other pictures go? Oh, let's move the page. It's up on screen. I'm drifting to the left. Ever do that while you're scrapbooking? We do it when we're square dancing too. You'll see a square and it'll just start to drift across. It's quite comical. As you drift across the room and all of a sudden like squares are on top of each other. Now what's nice is that, whoops, that was the wrong side. What's nice is that at a big convention, there's enough squares in the room that it kind of keeps people in place. I keep taping that down instead of taping the picture. La, 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 la. My brain's still on the dance floor, apparently. I'll tell you what. Okay, at least they eventually did need tape over there, so that's a plus. Okay, so there we go. Same thing over here. Now, I'll tell you what, girls, I like the way this one turned out a little bit better because, let's do that there. Because I kept it going all the way across, so when I did the cuts, see what it did? I might go back later and remat these depending on my mood, because I really like how this is like coming together like that. Okay, so there we go. And now I'm going to mat the bottom ones in hot fudge because the bottoms are brown. So there you go. So this picture, I think I kept it. Yeah, I kept this one 4x6. So we'll do 4 1/4. I don't need to do magic mats right now because I am cutting lots of different sizes. So I don't need to get 4 mats out of the same one. See, these ones aren't 4x6, so I don't have to worry about it. So this one's going to go over here. And then these photos are 3.5 inches. So I need 2 4x4. And see how quickly this can come together? Now, go ahead and tape this down here. And then I'm going to make those cute little squares. Get myself back up on the screen here. And what's nice is it gives you the sizing for everything, right? That's how I knew what size to cut my pictures. I knew what size to cut these. And now I'm going to do 1x4 inch strips to go here. And I'm going to do 1x3.5 to go across here. So let's see. Let's use these two fun colors. So the top part we're going to do in blocks. So I need 1 inch by 3.5. And we're going to need 4 of these. Go ahead and make 1 more. So if you look at this, it does 4 of these the same. Let's go ahead and get those down. It's just going to go right underneath. And now I'm going to do the brown one for the other 2. So we just need 1 inch. And then we'll do 2 of them at 3.5. That's going to go right here. And here. Now this one, I'm going to switch up the size a little bit because remember this is 4 1/4 and not 4 inches. So I am going to go ahead and just give it one on either side. So 1 by 4 1/4. Do that on either side of it. And then I can do my writing off to either side on this page if I'd like. Honestly, I don't need to do a whole lot of writing about this cathedral, just the fact that it was the cathedral that Miguel was baptized in, so that was pretty cool. I mean, can you imagine getting baptized in a cathedral this old? So cool. So cool. Okay, let's bring this up here. We're going to do 1 inch all the way down. And you need 4 inches on the 2 sides. And then we're going to need 4 inches in the center. So let's just tape this down the center. Bring our little silicone mat over here. We can find the center easier. Tape. The tape's hiding. So there's the 6 inch. This can go on either side of it. And finally, those last 2 that I cut are going to go on these 2 ends. Ah, so fun. So look how fun this turned out. Very, very quickly, very, very simply. And really the key things to this particular layout are to find photos that will be able to be cut to the right sizes, and then changing it up a little if you need to. So, okay, that was it, and I hope you have a fabulous day. I am going to go get some more rest after all that crazy. Have a great day.